These are the virus Vigilantes, dressed in plastic masks and makeshift protective gear and taking control of health monitoring in Hong Kong themselves. They're nearby residents and political activists living closest to one of the border crossings with mainland China, and they're desperately worried about the virus on their doorstep. So they're screening everyone entering this border town here. All the passengers coming off the bus have come from mainland China, so everyone's a suspected host of the deadly coronavirus. And not all of them are happy with this unofficial health check.
Although we don't want to frighten them, but the virus is frightening our neighborhood. So I think it is a necessary policy.
Most of them are the tourists from China. That's why we will want to measure their body temperature to make sure there's no any fever. And if there's fever, we will ask the police for help.
Our undercover reporter in mainland China filmed increased precautions at the Shenzhen Bay port crossing into Hong Kong. Passengers have to fill out health forms and are asked if they feel unwell or they've come from the epicenter. Most points into Hong Kong have been closed down, but there are still thousands using the crossings still open, and that includes the international airport. On the Hong Kong side, there are some attempts to disinfect the buses, but they seem quite cursory. Many of the passengers who are returning from Lunar New Year celebrations on the mainland seem unaware the virus is believed to stick to hard surfaces like handles, doors and seats, and can remain active for up to 72 hours. This bus is packed, standing room only basically, and they're crossing from the mainland every 15 minutes, and every one of these people could be a carrier of the coronavirus. Most want the border sealed entirely, but only after they're over.
I prefer the coast and protect the Hong Kong people. Yes.
But do you feel that maybe you could be part of the risk? I mean, you could maybe be bringing the virus back as well.
Oh.
Do you worry about that?
Yeah. Yes.
Will you be taking extra precautions?
So not much. Yeah. So, but anyway, so what can I do?
Hong Kong's first coronavirus death was a 39-year-old man who went to hospital the day he returned from the Wuhan epicenter. But in that short time, it seems, he infected his mother, who didn't go to the mainland, but who he lived with in these flats in Hong Kong. The city's health officials now fear there's a coronavirus outbreak in Hong Kong. They just don't know how serious or widespread it is. But at least 4 of those suffering were almost certainly infected inside the city. The alarming developments have spurred thousands of health workers to step up their strike, accusing the city's chief executive of putting Beijing's demands ahead of Hong Kong's safety.
This is a very critical moment. I think you need to use some special measurement or special intervention to prevent that the virus come to Hong Kong.
Everyone may be a potential risk to facing the disease, and I think that we have the responsibility to stand out and to do what we think is right.
We are in the front lines, and maybe the protective equipment is not enough and very tight. The supply is very tight.
The spread of the virus in one of the most densely populated developed cities is a frightening spectre, and health experts are warning the next 2 weeks will be critical. Alex Crawford, Sky News, Hong Kong.